Tokenmetrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
Hello, crypto family, Tokenmetrics family. How is everybody doing? We got a special live stream. Yes, I am back. I am back home here in Austin. And why not do a special live stream? I know you guys missed me. You've been asking for me. And man, crypto has been on the up and up. Helium has been on the up and up. So I missed you guys as well. Back to the old days. All right, so first person on the stream was let's see, How to Crypto, what's up? Jeffrey, Dominique, Corin. So this is just me. Bill and Forrest had the live stream today. So this is just me, AMA on how to make money in crypto. We'll go through the blueprint. I'll show you how I'm viewing the market right now and help answer any questions you have. What's up, White Azavani? Thomas, what's up, fam? What's going on? All right. So this is going to be a very informal live stream as usual. Any questions you have, just post them in the chat. But I think I'll go through and just kind of share the way I'm viewing 2021 as we head into 2022, right? Because, what a time to be alive. What a time to be in crypto, right? As we keep on saying, not being in crypto is literally a financial crime. Literally. So if your friends are still on the sidelines now, I don't know what they're thinking, right? It is your job. It is your duty to get them in crypto. Because not only are we making generational wealth and life-changing money right now in crypto, but Facebook changed its name to Meta, and now the space just multiplied even more. We have Facebook, or Meta now, getting ready to deploy $10 billion into crypto. You have Microsoft getting into the Metaverse. Right? So, what are you waiting for? So, first of all, congrats to anybody who's making money. We always love making money.
We just landed on the moon and the Lambo.
To the moon and beyond, as we like to say. First of all, I just want to share, thank you to all our customers. Thank you for everything. I want to share the success I've been having in crypto, because I feel like success stories really help motivate people and make crypto seem even more real, right? So for me, for those who've been following me for a while, you know that I've been wanting to buy my parents a home. Not just a home, but a dream home, $1 million home. And I can finally say that as of this month, we have fully bought the home. Straight cash, all primarily thanks to Helium Network and Matic Network / Polygon now, right? So as we like to say in crypto,
we just landed on the moon and the Lambo.
So now that my family is pretty much set, right? For those who followed me on Instagram, and by the way, my Instagram is down. I've been off the grid. I've been low key, just grinding, working in Tokenmetrics, and everything we're planning to launch this month, next month, and next quarter. So just been heads down. So if you haven't seen me on Instagram, no, I did not block you. I'm just off of Instagram, right? But for those who followed me as well, you also know that I bought a Rolls Royce, right? Which has been my dream car. And I know some of you wanted me to buy a Lambo, even though I'm the Moon Lambo guy. For me, a Rolls Royce, the Ghost, the black badge, was just my dream car. It's very classy, very elegant. And that all came from Helium and Matic. So 2 crypto investments that happened because even though I knew about Helium in 2018 and same thing with Matic, I didn't really start investing until they launched, because it took about a year until they actually launched. And basically, 2 wins helped pay for all of that. And I still have my Helium network, and I still have my Polygon. I only sold about a quarter of it to finance the house and the car. Right? So if anybody says this is just magic internet money, this is life-changing money. So imagine you having this money to change your family, your friends. Plus as well, I also helped pay off my brother's debt, right? Thanks to crypto. But it's not just about sharing the success though. It's about how we can do this consistently, right? So for those who don't know, let me actually pull up my screen here. Give me 1 second. All right, so here we go. Pulling up Helium. All right, so to show you how life-changing this money can be, right? This is Helium Network. So the current price of Helium Network is $46. $46, right? If you go down here and look at the price it launched at, this was basically under 13 cents. And the lowest price of all time was basically 11 cents. If you look at this return, right, April 18th, 2020, right? This is basically during COVID. During the pandemic, people are literally making life-changing money. This is over a 400x return on your money. Meaning that $1,000 turned to over 400 grand in basically 1 year. All thanks to crypto, right? And then same thing with Polygon, Matic, right? If we look at this, right? Where is this? In the last 1 year alone, Matic has done almost 100x, right? And if you bought Matic at the all-time low over 2 years back, May 10th, when it was under a penny, you would have over 500x returns on your money, right? And these projects were out there. I mean, you didn't even have to be a customer to invest in these projects because we talked about them so much on YouTube. Not financial advice, right? But this goes to show you like crypto is changing lives, right? So now the question is, what is the next Matic? What is the next Helium network, right? And the main way I view the market is like this. Let me switch the screens here. Okay, just give me 1 second, everybody. Here, I'll just take this off for now. Why is it just not switching? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the main way I view the market is like this. It's not just about finding great projects, right? Because there's so much noise out there in the crypto space. You have so many projects and so little time. And every project promises to go to the moon and beyond. But which ones will actually do very, very well, right? That is the challenge. That is the $1 million question. That's even the $1 billion question, right? So how do you sift through all that noise? So one, you have to do your research, right? That's why we have our platform Tokenmetrics, where we basically are doing the research for you. It's almost like a crypto investment research platform for hire. But the first premise is you have to do fundamental analysis, which helps you filter through all the projects that don't matter, right? And fundamentals entails looking at the team, their background, the use case, tokenomics, their investors, the customers, the community, all that. That's the first level of filtration, right? And almost it's like this, with every bull and bear cycle, with every bull market and bear market, you almost learn what worked and what didn't work, right? So in the last cycle, we used to just do fundamental analysis. And that worked for a while until it stopped working. Then we had to move on. Then we had to do fundamental analysis plus code reviews. And we've been doing code reviews since the last 2 years, since we launched Tokenmetrics, because we realized that it's not just about finding projects that have good fundamentals, but you want projects that have great technology, projects that will be around after a bear market. But now it's not just even that. What matters as well is the valuation of what you're getting into. How undervalued is it? So we like to view ourselves as long-term value investors. And that's how we found Matic, and that's how we found Helium. And when you realize that the whole premise of value investing is not just finding good projects or great projects, it's finding great projects that are underpriced relative to the market. So if we go back here to Helium, this is why Helium, I mean, nothing in investing is guaranteed, but this is as close to guaranteed as you get, right? Because think about this. This was a solid project with great fundamentals. Excuse me. Had to push the cough button. Great project with solid fundamentals, solid technology, but the most important thing of all, it was extremely undervalued. There was no token sale. There was no ICO. It was basically just a token you mined. You bought the device and you mined it. I actually have the device over here mining. Let me see something real quick. And my new device came in. This is the Freedom Fi. I have to install it. But basically, this was as easy as it gets. It's kind of like minting or mining Bitcoin in the early days, right? Like imagine being in 2013 and mining Bitcoin. That's the way Helium Network felt. Because it was so undervalued. So if we go back to this chart here and we look at the market cap, right? So the market cap right now is $4.6 billion. But when it launched, it had no market cap for a bit because they're still trying to get the data. But the market cap was under $10 million. And if you go back and watch our past videos, you notice that we've always said the sweet spot is finding partnerships that are undervalued and ideally under 20 million market cap. But if you find something under 10 million market cap with great technology and great fundamentals, I mean, that's one of the few times where that's as sure of an investment you get in crypto. Obviously, nothing is sure, but when it comes to something that's super undervalued, I mean, that's why it was a no-brainer. I mean, that's why I was talking about it, because just think about this. You would buy the device, plug it in, and within a few months, you would recoup your investment on the device. Everything else was house money and to the moon and beyond, right? And it's very hard to consistently find projects like that. But when you do, you have to go in. You still have to manage your risk, but the risk was already managed for you because everything else was just house money. After you got your money back for buying the device through the first few months, everything else was house money. But I made more money, not just through mining, but through actually buying more, right? Because I bought a lot of Helium at under 15 cents. I bought some more at $1.50, and I bought some more at $10, right? And even now, I still think Helium is undervalued. Obviously, the returns are not there like they were back 2 years ago, but I think Helium could be a top 20, maybe even top 10 market cap project, right? So right now it is, it's 44th, I believe, in market cap, 45th in market cap. So it is still undervalued, but not to the level it is, right? So that's really the formula to making money in crypto. Same thing with Polygon, right? If we go to the market cap and we look at the market cap growth, now when it launched with a pretty high market cap. Actually, maybe not. So market cap was about 10 million. This is post Binance Launchpad IEO. And now the market cap is 11 billion. But notice one thing. This was a layer 2 protocol, basically for scaling Ethereum. And Helium was a layer 1 protocol. So the money is in, I would say, layer 1 blockchains. Blockchains is where the money is. Because if you go to all the projects, like if we go to token metrics, let me actually go back over here. All right, most of the money that's been made in crypto comes from investing in layer 1 protocols. Because layer 1 is the ground layer foundation for all of blockchain and all of crypto. And then you have layer 2, which is the infrastructure projects, and then you have applications being built on the blockchain. They're looking at the best investments of all time. A large portion of them, historically speaking, have been layer 1 protocols. So even though Binance is not one, Binance has been one of the best crypto investments of all time. For those who got into the Binance ICO token sale back in 2017, then Solana. Solana was under $1. I think for those who were in the private sale of Solana, it was 4 cents. And look at the price now, $230. Cardano, Polkadot, Shiba Inu. Oh man, Shiba Inu is the one that got away, man. So I know some people who are actually on the founding team of Shiba Inu, and man, let's just say they have a lot of money now. And for those who saw this on social media, one of the wallets that was one of the early members of Shiba turned $8,000 to over $5 billion, only in crypto. right? Avalanche, Terra Luna. All these are layer 1 protocols. Then you have layer 2s like Chainlink, Bitcoin Cash, layer 1, Algorand, Polygon, VeChain. So layer 1s, they're back in full effect. They've been making a lot of money. But now let me kind of switch over to where I see the market going. And then I'll answer some questions. All right, so last year, the market was all about DeFi, decentralized finance. It was DeFi summer. Then this year has been the year for NFTs, NFT summer. But what's the narrative for next year? For those who watched my episode on Moon Mission on TMTV, you kind of already know, right? DAOs. I think DAOs are such a huge narrative for next year. I mean, all the insiders I see in crypto have already begun basically talking about DAOs, investing in DAOs, and we're also looking heavily into DAOs as well here at Tokemetrics, right? But you also add in Metaverse. The Metaverse is going to be huge, but how do you invest in it, right? Where do you start? Because there'll be great opportunities to make a lot of money, but with any new market, there's also even greater opportunities to lose all your money, right? So where do you begin, right? So the way I'm viewing the market is like this, right? So for those who've been following our code reviews, you know the projects we like when it comes to, for example, Metaverse, right? There are really two projects. One is the Sandbox, right? This project, we did a code review on this a while back, and it's done very well. In the last 1 year, it's up 68x. So $1,000 turned to $68,000, right? And the TM grade is still over 80 for daily, weekly, and monthly. So, I mean, our AI is still very bullish on Sandbox, right? So right now is not the time to be getting out. Now, if you're up, definitely take profits, but the Sandbox is one project we definitely like. The other, for those who follow me since 2017, you know, Decentraland. I was actually in their ICO, but I didn't hold that long. Yeah, so this one is up about 40x in the last 1 year. Now, the grade is not over 80%, which for me is a threshold, but if you're in it, this is kind of basically neutral or hold. If it goes below 75 or 70 on the daily and weekly, I think probably it's time to take some profits. But the way I see the Metaverse, these are the two front runners, right? And the ways to make money now, I'm not invested in the Metaverse yet. We're still researching this, but for those of you who want to kind of know where to go, these two ecosystems are the top two ecosystems I would be looking at. Now, I know people have been buying real estate in these worlds, trying to speculate and make money on this. Now, I don't know anything about that, so that's not really my forte. However, if it's working for you, if there are ways for you to earn yield by either buying real estate and renting that out, hey, then go for it, right? But in terms of the way I view the market, I think DAOs and Metaverse is next, but I think it's going to be kind of like the ICO market in 2017, where 95% of projects will go to zero. Then same thing with NFTs. I think 95% of NFTs will go to zero. I have been buying NFTs in the last 4 months or so. I've not bought any in over a month. Right now, I feel like I have too many NFTs in my portfolio. But the ones I do like, let me see, let me actually pull this up here. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm gonna open up my OpenSea account. Basically, I view NFTs as, if you want to invest in NFTs, you have to be very, very careful. Right now, the PFP, the profile pics NFTs, I think that market is oversaturated because there's no innovation. They're like ICOs back in 2017. I think the real value will be investing in projects that are first of a category, meaning that they're innovating. So the way I view NFTs is this. If you view the landscape as something that's very long term, and imagine you're 25 years in the future in an NFT museum. What NFTs do you think will be in that museum? Do you think all these profile pics people are buying right now will be in there? Not really. Only those that were really the first, right? So you have blue chip NFTs, for example, CryptoPunks, right? Those were one of the first NFTs in 2017. So those, in my opinion, will definitely be in that museum, in that NFT museum. Then you have Bored Apes. I think Bored Apes definitely will be in the museum because they were really the first tokenized private social group that reached mainstream adoption. I mean, they're on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, so I think they'll definitely be there. That's why I have them. Then you have Loot and Adventure Gold. That was a whole new primitive of flipping how to build a game, where it's basically being built from the bottom up as opposed to from the top down, right? So I think Loot will be there. And then you'll have the first mainstream blockchain gaming, right? So I think, even though it's not really NFTs, I think the Metaverse is what evolves on top of NFTs. So I think NFTs and Metaverse go hand in hand. And that's why Facebook is getting involved. That's why Twitter is getting involved. And I think this space is just getting started, right? So if I share my collection here, let me pull this up. All right, so these are some of my NFTs. Most of them I bought. Some were just for fun, but the ones that have done pretty well. Bored Ape, this has held its value, although the floor has kind of dipped. And then the Mutant Apes as well. And then the other one is Mooncats. Mooncats have actually done pretty well, right? But there are two NFTs I have here. Okay, where the hell are they? Okay, give me 1 second here. Maybe they're in a different wallet. What's going on here? Okay, all right. So we have Creature World and Treeverse. Those are two NFTs I bought. I bought them using on-chain data, basically just where smart money was going. Then after seeing where they're going based on Nonchain and other on-chain data providers, then going into their groups on Discord, doing the research, and I realized that, hey, I think these two projects could do pretty well. Okay, so here I'll just search for them. And give me 1 second. And the reason why I think these are definitely very interesting to watch, one, their floor price as NFTs has held pretty well. Because most NFTs have been crashing, but the price for these NFTs have been going up. I think the peak was about a 3 or 4x in ETH. I'm not sure what the price is now. I've not looked at this in a while, but it has been pretty consistent. And this is basically, I think, where NFTs are going. They're basically taking the concept of NFTs and tying that into the metaverse, right? So basically, people are buying land, and that land is being represented as founder's plot with NFTs, right? And if you go to the website, they're basically building a game, right? So that's why I think this is definitely one to keep an eye on. Now, I'm not saying this is going to make you money or go to the moon and beyond, but it's what I'm doing, right? Obviously not financial advice. I need to check out Solana NFTs. Yeah, I mean, I've not really been looking into the Sol ecosystem. All right, so this is basically it, right? Treeverse is a pixel-themed metaverse. We strive to replace social platforms for NFT chatter and start gamifying the experience. And so the reason why I got into this, a lot of smart money based on-chain data is in. So for me, that's a good sign. Meaning people who have been successful and investing in NFTs, looking at their on-chain wallets, are in this project. And then the price has been pretty good, meaning that looking at the floor price now is almost 2 ETH. Let me see if I can pull up the actual activity here. So for me, this is how I'm getting involved in the metaverse play, right? Through this. Then the other one is Creature World. Creature World is also a metaverse play. Actually, this might not be it. Yes, this might be an airdrop. Yeah, Creature World NFT. And the floor price for this is just under 2 ETH as well. And this is also a Metaverse play. If I pull up the website here, so same thing with this, right? So Smart Money is in this project and the other one. And I think for me, I like how they're tying together NFTs and Metaverse. So that's how I've been viewing the space. But anyway, this is taking a while to load. Don't want to hold up the live stream. Let's get to questions. What questions do you guys have that I can help answer? Let's now shift to the AMA portion of the stream. All right. Is my live stream bugging out? I'm also mining Chia on this computer, and I'm not sure if that's interfering with that. All right, here, let me actually see. Maybe I should stop mining my Chia for this live stream. Okay. All right, so lots of innovation. Yeah, I mean, Solana has definitely done pretty well. It's worth keeping an eye on. I think, honestly, because for those who, I guess you guys can't follow me on IG anymore, but are we having issues with the stream? Let me know if there are any issues with the stream. Otherwise, I may have to restart the stream. Okay, here, let me stop mining my Chia. Okay, are we good now? Yeah, image is freezing. Okay, guys, yeah, apologies, not sure what's going on here. Okay, audio is fine. Okay, seems like now it's been fixed. Okay, apologies for that. Okay, so in terms of, any questions you have, just post in the chat and we'll go through them. So I just came back from Solana Breakpoint conference, and man, oh man, I mean, Solana is not going away anytime soon. I mean, this was their first community conference, but I mean, there was so much money there. It was well organized. Like, they have a war chest that is not going to be depleted anytime soon. That conference was just wreaking bull market money, 1000x returns. Basically, like, they did not go cheap on anything at all at the conference. Right? So Solana, I think, is going to be top 10 market cap for a very long time. If anything, I think Ethereum should be scared. I mean, because with the amount of money Solana has, I mean, Ethereum should be scared. And I mean, so Ethereum basically has to execute on ETH 2.0. If they bomb that, I mean, Solana is right there waiting like vultures, ready to just pounce on the opportunity. Right? So that's the way I view Sol. Now, I don't plan to buy any more or buy any currently. I mean, I'm established boat. So if anything, I'm trying to find the next Solana. Helium, definitely top 10. Yeah, I mean, I think that's possible. I mean, with 5G, with Dish Network, and I think in the future, as they add more companies, right? They've added Cisco, they've added Volvo. If they add a large telecom, imagine if they add Verizon. Where is Helium going after that? Right? I mean, they're going to the moon and beyond if that happens. And right now, it's done all of this with no Coinbase listing. So, I mean, I think the Coinbase listing will expose Helium to mainstream. Because right now, if you're in the US, you can really only get Helium on Binance US and some small exchanges. So, I mean, it's doing all of this, and it hasn't really hit mainstream yet, mainstream crypto exchanges yet, right? So I think there's so much room to grow, right? Because that's what happened with Matic. Matic really went from, what, like 10 to 50 cents to over $2 after Coinbase listing, right? So, I mean, I think this is just getting started. Okay, so Oh man, I love this. So Frey says, Ian, I'm a millionaire thanks to you with helium. Oh, I love it.
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
Congratulations, Soy Frey. Mon ami, mon ami. I love to hear that. All right, so okay, Paul says, that's awesome, congrats. Am I still mining helium? Yes, I am. I'm still mining helium. I'm trying to pull up a question here. Okay, sorry, they're going too fast here. I cannot keep up with the comments. So here, I'll just read them. I won't be able to pull up every single one. What's your prediction for HNT and Matic for the next 12 months? Helium, I think, is going to go to conservative, top 20 market cap, aggressive, top 10 market cap. So whatever that price point is, right? So from if we go to market cap wise, pulling this up here. Right, so assuming everything stays steady, right? Market cap 4.6 billion. Let's call it 5 billion, right? $5 billion market cap, right? And if we're saying it's going to go to top 20, we're looking at 11 billion, so a 2x. So basically, it can go to $90, right? If it goes to top 10, Dogecoin, 33 billion, right? So from 5 billion, that's like a 6x return. 6x on what, 45? 45 times 6. That's like $270. So basically, on the low end, helium can go to $90. On the high end, in my opinion, not financial advice, it can go to 270, right? Now, for Polygon, honestly, I think Polygon is fine exactly where it is. Now, let's actually look at Polygon's rating on Tokenmetrics. Why isn't this? Okay, give me 1 second here. Yeah, so I mean, Polygon right now, the TM grade is low for daily, weekly, and monthly. So honestly, time to take profits. I mean, I already took my profits. So right now is not really the time to be in Polygon. It hasn't really done much in the last 3 months. It's been going sideways. So I mean, right now is not the time to really be in Polygon. But helium still has room to grow, right? Pulling up the TM grade for helium, right? I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. Daily, 89%. Weekly, 89%. Monthly, 87%. So, I mean, I'm not selling my helium anytime soon. Until this goes below 75, it makes no sense to begin taking profits at all. Right now, there's still room to grow. Right? So that's where I view those two. Let's see here. Okay, can you invest in NFTs without owning one? Oh, good question. I mean, you can indirectly invest in NFTs. You can invest in the platforms, which I think is a smart way to think about it. So if you want to do that, the two projects we like in the NFT ecosystem, right? So basically the whole mindset is if you want to invest in, if it's like being in the gold rush back in what, the 1800s in California. You want to be the person selling the axes and the picks and shovels, not the person actually trying to mine for gold, right? Because when you do that, you make money regardless, right? So if that's your approach, there are two projects we like that have great fundamentals and great technology. The first one is Flow. This is basically a blockchain, layer one, that we think is very good. It scored well on the code review. Hasn't done too well recently, but if you're in early via the CoinList token sale, you've done pretty well. But right now, I mean, the TM grade is very low, right? But this is a layer one blockchain. This is where NBA Top Shot is, which has had over $500 million in total sales. And with the NBA starting soon, definitely worth keeping an eye on. And I believe they're going to be adding some other pro sports leagues, right? Then there's one that's undervalued, which has been on my watch list, but I've not bought this yet. NFTX. This has market cap under 50 million, so it's pretty decent, but it's been going sideways the last 3 months, right? And the TM grade is low as well, right? So I would just put this on your watch list, right? So same thing, I have it on my watch list, and then I would just wait until the daily grade turns to over 80%. And then I think that's a good time to enter NFTX. In terms of other NFT projects, I mean, just Ethereum and Solana, like the layer ones, right? Those are the ones I think would also give you exposure to NFTs as they take off, right? You could also look into fractionalized NFTs, but with that, you're just owning a piece of an NFT. All right, so, Amir says, what's your favorite Metaverse play as it stands right now? I mean, I would say Treeverse because, I mean, I have the NFT and I'm just assuming that land I have, the founder's plot, that I can flip that for some money or even rent that out. Now, I've not been keeping tabs on exactly how the game works, but if you go to their Twitter, they've been pretty active. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, so looking at their Twitter over here. Okay, so it looks like they do have some gameplay. This looks like Super Nintendo back in the 1990s, or like Final Fantasy, but Metaverse style with NFTs. I mean, so I would say right now, this is my favorite Metaverse play. So definitely go check this out. I mean, looks like a pretty cool world. Oh, actually, I think one other Metaverse play, which we covered, I'm not sure if we have this right now, but it's DeFi Kingdom on Harmony blockchain, right? So this is kind of like Trader Joe and Aave, except it's on Harmony. My understanding is it's a game, a DEX, a liquidity pool opportunity, and a market of rare utility of NFTs. So it looks like they're trying to do it all. They're combining Metaverse with a DEX. Now, we did a code review on this and it scored pretty well. So I personally haven't had the chance to do a deep dive into this, but definitely worth keeping an eye on this. Harmony has also been doing pretty well recently. Right, so looking at this here, yeah, so they're building a whole ecosystem. Now, quite frankly, I'm not sure how everything works, but definitely worth keeping an eye on this. Now, is this actually trading yet? I think it was trading. Let me see if we have it. Yeah, DeFi Kingdoms. Okay, so market cap is already high, over $300 million market cap. But looking at this, I mean, in the last 1 month, it's up 400%. Not too shabby, right? Now we don't really have a TM grade for this yet because it has to be trading for more than 3 months for us to have enough data with our machine learning to be able to rate it. But I mean, if we go to, for example, CoinGecko and look at this DeFi, so they have it here under exchanges. Huh. Okay, there we go. So the token name is Joe. So I mean, this is almost like a harmony play that's playing everything. It's playing NFTs, playing DeFi, and playing Metaverse. So this could be one way to get exposure to everything. But what I'm looking for is, yeah, honestly, it's kind of hard to kind of assess this because their max supply is 500 million tokens, and currently, yeah, so fully diluted valuation is 3 billion. Because if I think you can probably compare this to SushiSwap, that's the closest competitor. And if we go to Sushi is 84th in market cap. So Sushi has actually been taking a hit. Sushi's market cap is 2 billion, fully diluted 2.4 billion. I mean, so DeFi Kingdom is way overvalued. Going back to what I said earlier, when you're looking at the market cap, you want to be looking at the fully diluted valuation. I should think about that. A project that just launched has a higher FDV than Sushi. To me, that is a warning sign. So probably not a time to get involved right now. All right, let's go into the next questions here. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You guys can't hear me? Oh, my bad, guys. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I hit the button with that. All right, so let's redo that. Apologies. Okay, so for 5 minutes. Oh, man. I got carried away. All right. So let me just do a quick summary. So basically, I was saying, in terms of layer one that I like, Avalanche. I think Avalanche is amazing. I don't own any yet, but I recall when I was reading their white paper, it was one of the best white papers I've read in a long time. I mean, it was up there. Everything was just so well written. They had different papers for different audiences. They had a business paper, a light paper, technical paper, research paper. I could just tell the level of thoughtfulness put into everything they made was purposeful, right? And if you're investing in the Avalanche ecosystem, I mean, Trader Joe is probably the best one to watch. As I was showing, I think right now it might be kind of overvalued, but definitely worth keeping an eye on. Because I mean, their FDV, their fully diluted market cap is 1.3 billion, and SushiSwap is like 2 billion, I believe, right? But worth keeping an eye on. Then Algorand. Wall Street is pumping Algorand, right? So when I went to the SALT conference in New York, hosted by Anthony Scaramucci of Skybridge Capital, they were all talking about Solana and Algorand. Ethereum as well, but mainly those two, right? And Algorand, Wall Street loves it because it's great for compliance. It has some kind of on-chain KYC, AML that makes it easy for compliance. So that's why I think they'll do very well when it comes to central bank digital currencies. That's pretty much their main use case. So governments and regulators love them. I believe they're doing some work with some governments already. And then the SEC has kind of indirectly said they're a pretty good blockchain because of that, right? Because of the compliance. All right, so worth keeping an eye on as well. We've done a quick review on this as well. Now looking at the actual TM grade, right now is not really a good time to get involved in Algorand, right? But if we go to, so looking at this, right? The grade is not so good. If you're in this, don't sell until it goes below 75. That's what I would do, right? But Avalanche, as I showed earlier, had a great grade, right? Going to Avalanche over here, right? Avalanche has 88 and 88 on weekly and the daily, so worth keeping an eye on, right? So I think for layer ones, Avalanche is probably next. Then also Harmony, right? Harmony, we scored this a while back. They're up 54x in the last 1 year. Right now, their TM grade is under 70 for daily, weekly, and monthly. So not really a good entry. However, worth keeping this on your watch list. And for the Harmony ecosystem, DeFi Kingdom is the one to watch for. But right now, I think DeFi Kingdom is way overvalued. But I mean, it is crypto. So kind of, I guess, take that with a grain of salt. Other layer ones, I mean, Solana is not done yet, right? So if we go to the TM grade for Solana, first of all, right, 110x return in the last 1 year, right? So congrats to all the bulls on Solana. Pat yourself on the back. So daily is 77, weekly 79, monthly 87. So if you're in Solana, it's not time to take profits just yet. But if this goes over 80, then I think there's definitely a chance to probably get in. But right now, if you're in it, I would just ride this out. What are the layer ones out there? I'm in Helium, but you guys already know about that. All right. Okay, so let's find some other questions to answer. Uh, all right. Luis says, if you have to start with just 1K, $1,000, what do you do? Hello from Venezuela. Hello. Hola. Hola, amigos. Poquito. Habla español. All right. So $1,000, what am I doing? Yeah. I mean, first of all, if I'm investing $1,000, I would say, one, I'm only investing in what I can afford to lose. Right? And that's what I'm doing. Basically. Right? So basically, I will treat it as lottery or gambling money in the sense that I would already assume I've lost the money. Right? That way, when I lose the money, I don't get butthurt. I don't cry about it. I just know it's the cost of doing business and learning to invest in crypto. Right? That's the first thing. Right? Only invest what you're willing to lose. Right? So, meaning that $1,000 is what I would be willing to lose. Then the next thing is, I mean, honestly, I'll be a conservative degen, right? Meaning that I would find the best opportunity to make as much money as fast as I can while being conservative. It sounds ironic, but it is possible, right? So honestly, the first thing that comes to mind, I mean, probably Olympus DAO, right? Because we've been talking about it. This was one of the projects we covered in our altcoin quarterly report, and great technology, great fundamentals, but we think it's overvalued, right? However, their staking yield and returns, if what people say is true, you can make a lot of money fast, right? So now, actually, I've not used this at all because I've been busy, but I have been meaning to begin staking, right? So let me actually go into this for the first time and just see what this looks like, right? But if you can passively earn yield at a very high APY, I think I've heard 8,000% APY on a project with great fundamentals, great technology. I mean, that is the hack. That is the glitch in the matrix, right? Which is why I've been meaning to do it. Just haven't had the time with all the travels I've been doing, right? But okay, so now let me pull this up here. This is my first time actually really delving into their dashboard. Right, but basically Olympus DAO.finance. So they have 3.7 billion in market cap. The price is slightly under 800. So I believe it's under stake. All right, so basically this is it, right? So 8,000% APY. Now, for anybody out there who's actually staking this, please correct me if I'm wrong, right, with any of this analysis. But basically, according to this, right, in 1 year, if you stake this, you will earn 8,000%, right? So basically, you have to buy own and stake it, right? So, I mean, literally, I would probably just buy, okay. So basically, this is an 80x return on your money, if my math is correct, right? So basically, if you take $1,000, buy OHM, put it into Olympus DAO, and stake for 1 year, and this APY stays the same, you would have turned $1,000 to $80,000. I mean, talk about hacking the matrix, right? So now the way we view this is, we believe having OHM, Olympus DAO tokens, only makes sense because right now it's way overvalued, right? So this does not fit the thesis for being a value investor, technically. However, the APY has been pretty high consistently for a pretty long time for crypto, right? So the move is kind of like it's a meta move, right? I would take $1,000, put it into Olympus. I'm sorry, buy the OHM token, stake it, right? Earn the APY, And basically, I would just sell the yield and then use that to finance my degen crypto investments while being conservative. Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure exactly how the staking works, whether they penalize you if you withdraw your the yield you've earned. I'd have to do a deep dive into it. But assuming that works, I mean, that is literally a hack, right? So basically, I would put $1,000 into OHM, stake it, then probably every month sell the yield into Ethereum, and then use that to buy other projects that Tokenmetrics covers, right? That are undervalued, right? Then, in terms of NFT, I mean, I would basically try to do as many things as possible, but once I find something that works, I would stick to that, right? So, I mean, that's really the move. Buy OHM, stake it, sell the yield, use that to fund all your other investments, right? That way, the price of OHM is pretty stable, right? In terms of all these different reserve currencies, we think this is one of the better ones based on the technology. However, you're not buying OHM because you want to have it long term. You're buying it for the yield. That's the way I would view this. All right. So Obina is saying to talk about the forks. Yes. So there's Climate DAO. I'm not sure if we've covered that one, but I have heard of it. That's the one with the carbon credits. It's basically a fork. I'm not sure. I think that has even higher yield, but I'm not sure if that's one we want to be in long term. Then there is Wonderland, which is also a fork of Olympus on Avalanche blockchain. So that's worth also looking into if you're on Avalanche. But for us, we like to go with the original, with the innovators, the first mover advantage, not so much the copycats, because the copycats typically it's not the same team, right? So sometimes they may not have the best developers. They may get hacked, basically, right? But the way I view it is, I would just use that to earn yield. Then what would I invest in? I would find low cap. I would probably go to Tokenmetrics indices, right? And in a bull market, I would look at the weekly, and I would probably look at KuCoin. KuCoin indices have been the best because they typically have more low caps, and typically they list projects that nobody else has listed yet. So they typically have a low cap, and they pump pretty well. Now, if you actually go to the low cap, I don't think the low cap has done too well in this market cycle for some reason. Yeah, most people have been in large caps, right? So basically, I would go to the TM indices weekly, not low cap. And I would basically just do KuCoin index, because this has consistently been the best performing one, right? And right now it has these small coins, right? So I would have maybe a part of my portfolio for that. This is like the adult version of being mature in crypto investing. Then I'd have a portion of the portfolio for flipping NFTs, right? So basically what I would do is I would leverage Tokenmetrics. Then I would also leverage Nansen. You can buy a membership for like, I think $400 a month, but that's probably expensive. So, but let's assume you can't do it without Nansen, right? What do? How do you flip NFTs, right? So I would go on crypto Twitter and see what smart money is buying, right? And there's a list. If you go on Twitter and follow people like Cupertelli and others, right? There's some tastemakers in the NFT space and the DAO space, and find ways to see what they're getting involved in, right? Let me see if I can. It's very hard to flip NFTs right now, especially with the market we're in. So I'm definitely not on Ethereum for that price point, right? So if you're concerned about fees, which you should be at that price point, I may honestly look into Avalanche, right? So I'm not sure if there are any NFT products that have taken off on Avalanche, but I mean, let's say staking Olympus DAO, the fees are too high, I would look into Wonderland, which is a forked version of this on Avalanche. That one I know scored pretty high on the fundamentals. I'm not sure on the code review. I think code review was still in the making. I'm not sure if it was published, but I would look into that alternative version. Let me actually see if I can pull that up here. Yeah, so Wonderland is already in the top 100 market cap. Wow. And it only has 200,000 supply. Is that correct? Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, you guys cannot see my screen, right? Let me... All right, so looking at this. Yeah, so this is already up 13x in 2 months. So let's see what the APY is over here. Okay, all right. So now this seems even more crazier. Not sure if you guys can see that. But basically their APY is 84,900%. So basically $1,000 will turn to $849,000. Yeah, that seems too good to be true. But I mean, if this Olympus DAO model works, I mean, this could really be a glitch in the matrix. Because in crypto, glitches in the matrix do occur, but you have to pounce on them and take advantage of them while they're there, right? You have to maximize the window of opportunity during the window of opportunity, right? So, I mean, this might even be a better project to look into. However, I mean, I would have to do further research and see what our code review score was. I want to see if I can find it. Give me 1 second, everybody. Okay. Yeah, there is no code review yet for Wonderland. I'm not seeing that in our emails. But I mean, if this is the case, I mean, maybe I would split half and half into one on Wonderland on Avalanche. So basically, I would first buy some Avalanche and then use part of that to buy Wonderland, and then I would stake. And then I would use this yield, and this yield, I would just sell the yield every week, every month, consistently, and use that to invest into other projects, right? So maybe I'll probably have to look into more projects in the Avalanche ecosystem. But I mean, this is what I would do. Then for Olympus, same thing, some OHM tokens, sell every week, use that to then get more Ethereum, and then just build up my portfolio. Now, in terms of flipping NFTs, if on Avalanche, I would just look for Avalanche NFTs, but I mean, I would be ruthless with it. I would be in and out. I would not be holding anything for long. I would just try to find projects that are hyped, and I would have to just build a list of people who are influential for an ecosystem, right? For example, on Avalanche, who are the influential NFTs investors? What are they buying? And then I would try to get into those mint sales, get in and flip them that same day, right? Because the whole thing is trying to protect your capital for when the music stops playing, which does happen in crypto, right? And I do not want to be left in any NFTs that are not blue chips, right? And with that amount of money for 1K, I mean, none of the NFTs you're in are blue chips, right? So basically, you're either minting them or you're buying the floor. But I would not buy the floor at that price. I would just mint NFTs that you're in. I would probably go into Discord groups, Telegram groups, get involved in the community, and try to get community whitelist, right? So if you find the trending projects or trending NFT projects, get active in the NFT in their community, and then use that to get on the whitelist, and then mint, right? That way there's no gas war, and then I would flip the same day, right? So you could probably mint for like, what, 0.05 ETH and flip for like a 10x, right? So, I mean, that's the strategy for NFTs. So basically it would be getting involved actively in NFTs and flipping them. Then in terms of Metaverse, I mean, that one is tough. I think Axie Infinity, I mean, that ship already sailed. Trying to find the next one would be tough. I mean, so I would just stake and invest in some large caps and do that strategy. But let me know what you guys would do. What would you do? Like, I'm hearing people talking about Aurora, Near. Yeah, so Near is also one layer one project we do like. I've actually had a deep dive on this, I believe. That and Aurora. Let me actually pull them up here on Token Metrics. Am I bullish on Liquidity? Yes, I am, but I mean, it's taking forever, basically, right? Okay, let's see here. Near's $5.6 billion market cap. It's done an 11x in the last 1 year. Not the best, but I mean, the TM rate is pretty good, or very good rather. 88 for daily, and weekly of 85, 79 for monthly. So I mean, Near I think is next. So Near and Aurora, which we like. I mean, I think Near could be the next Solana, right? They have a great technology. I think the code review score was 89. Then with Aurora adding EVM on Near, all these Ethereum applications can be ported over, right? So you'll have all these developers now forking Ethereum projects and bring them onto Near, and I think that will bring a lot of value to Near, right? So definitely worth keeping an eye on this. And right now it's bullish. So the layer one projects we've covered that have been bullish were Near, right? Based on the TM grade, daily and weekly. These are the main two I look at, right? So Near, Avalanche, and Helium. So I mean, that's pretty much the strategy. Okay, let's go into some other questions. Can you talk and check gaming crypto? Oh man, gaming crypto. I mean, we kind of covered this with Metaverse. Metaverse to me is almost like gaming, but I think you're saying like Axie Infinity style games. I mean, the one people have been talking about and we've had in our indices as well, based on the TM grade in the past, was Illuvium. But looking at this, let me see where it is. So, I mean, Illuvium is still pretty high. So, over 80 all across the board on TM grade. And it's done a 16x in the last 200 days. So, I mean, definitely worth keeping an eye on this one, right? You have Illuvium. I mean, DeFi Kingdom, which you covered, but I think that's overvalued. Axie Infinity. Let's pull this one up. I mean, this is the one that got away. Oh, wow. So Axie Infinity is still over 80 across the board. Worth keeping an eye on this then. I mean, talk about making money. All right. What other blockchain gaming? Let's actually go to ratings. We can do this by category. All right, so do we have a category for gaming? We should. Yeah, so Metaverse. right, so these are the ones, Render. So actually, yeah, Render token, I recall we covered this a while back, and this scored over 80 on the code review, I believe. So, I mean, I would look into that. I would look into Sandbox. I mean, if I recall, they blocked US and investors from going to their site. Okay, so this is his Metaverse. So it's rendering the Metaverse. Okay, yeah, definitely worth looking into, especially if, I mean, this is basically a swing trade, right? So looking at this market cap, yeah, so I mean, this is beautiful. It's done on 40x in the last 1 year. TM grade over 88 for both weekly and daily, and it's been accumulating for the last, I mean, from basically November since August till November, it's been accumulating, and now it's just taking off, right? And the TM rate is still high, right? So definitely worth looking into this. All right, what does a score mean? The score is basically, so we use machine learning to go through and rate crypto assets, basically on how bullish we think they'll do. So anything over an 80% means bullish, and anything over 90, very, very bullish, right? So think of this as like the Morningstar for crypto. The higher the percentage, the better the project will do, right? So this is a daily tokenomics grade, weekly tokenomics grade, and monthly grade, right? So I like to use the daily and the weekly because in crypto it moves so fast. Monthly is basically a monthly moving average of the daily. So daily and weekly gives you better insights, in my opinion. All right, excuse me. All right, so all right, so Gareth says, yeah, give us a Moon Lambo gem. I mean, all I can say is just make sure you're a token metrics customer. I mean, after this live stream. that's all I can say. Well, actually, maybe I can't say this. But basically, I mean, our team and some other people, we've been contributing to an open source DeFi protocol that's about to launch soon, right? So now this is not a token metrics project, but me personally, I have been involved in the project, and we'll be launching soon. Basically, we'll be launching our own DeFi protocol soon, right? And we'll try to see how we can get our customers involved, right? We're possibly thinking about an airdrop to our customers as an appreciation for your support, right? So that's all I can say. I mean, so if you have been a customer, now I think that there might have been a cutoff date. I have to double check with the team, but I mean, an airdrop is an airdrop, right? So I'm not saying it's going to be a Moon Lambo gem, but I'm saying we appreciate you, right? So stay tuned. How do you mine Chia? I mean, through their wallet and hard drives. But right now, I mean, Chia has not been doing too well, right? If anything, I think it makes more sense to buy. But right now, I mean, I still have not bought Chia, right? Because if we go to Chia right now, I mean, I think they messed up their farming, and it's just not done well. I still believe in the tech. It's good tech, but I mean, it has not done well at all. Right, but I mean, in crypto, sometimes you have to play the very long-term game, because market cap 300 million, and TM grade is low. So basically, if you're not in this, I don't think it makes sense to get in unless you're earning from mining this. But I would just wait for this to go over 80 on the weekly and daily. Okay. All right. Next question. Sushi has a huge total value locked. How do you feel about Sushi? TM score? Sushi swap. I mean, Sushi hasn't really done much, right? Daily TM grade is very, very low for weekly and daily, under 60 for both. In the last 1 year, it's only done a 7x return. All right, I think your money, I mean, you could have done a 7x with just holding Ethereum. Just think about this, right? In 1 year, you've done 689%. If we compare that versus Ethereum, I mean, you actually made money holding Ethereum over SushiSwap. All right, so basically, translation, there's no reason to be holding SushiSwap. Right? I mean, if you can get better returns holding the second largest crypto in all of crypto, why hold SushiSwap, right? Because that's how you avoid, because there's more risk being in SushiSwap than being in Ethereum, right? So the way I view this is, I'd rather have Ethereum and then skip all the mess in the middle and go straight to degens, to low caps, altcoins, right? Stuff like Olympus DAO, right? I mean, literally, the way to make money in crypto is to hedge yourself in a smart way. You can be a smart degen, right? Meaning that you can go and you can ape into a crypto, but if you have a parachute, if you have great support, great insurance, I mean, like Helium. Helium was a new cryptocurrency when it launched, so people might have thought we were being degens going into it. However, we were mining it. And buying a device only costs $400, and I mean, so the cost was very low, but you made your money back very quickly, and the rest was house money. So like the bottom, right, was very, very low, right? So same thing with, I think, Olympus DAO, right? Olympus DAO could be the glitch in the matrix like Helium was, right? Olympus DAO and Wonderland on Avalanche, which is a fork of Olympus, right? Climate DAO, that we have to look into it. And let me actually see if we covered Climber DAO. Give me 1 second. Okay, so Climber DAO was on our watch list, looking at this. Meaning that it had decent fundamentals. So this is the newsletter we sent out to our paying customers. So if you're not a customer, I highly recommend you at least try out the trial. We have a discounted trial. Just go to tokenmetrics.com. Right, so this is the watch list we sent out to our customers, and I'm pulling up the part on, is it climate DAO? I think climate DAO, right? Kind of like climate change, right? So yeah, and this for this was the week of October 20th, right? So we scored Aurora, Polymesh, Jet Protocol, Pantos, and Climate DAO. Climate DAO was at the end. So this scored 80. This is just for fundamentals, right? So Polymesh was 86. Jet Protocol 80. I mean, some pretty decent projects. Pantos 77. Climate DAO 76. All right, so not the best project to get in, right? Because if I compare this to to Wonderland, let me pull up Wonderland. All right, so Wonderland was for November 1st. Okay, so we had Mars Protocol, which is on Terra, which scored 82%. So this is like Aave on Terra. Wonderland 82, right? So, and it says we liked it because It's my Twitter user who has made some other projects. Now, what is this? Mojito, XYZ. Monkey Ball. This is Solana played a earn game. So for those asking about gaming, that's one to look at. But yeah, I mean, so Wonderland and Olympus are the two forks. I'm sorry, the two projects I would look for. I mean, fork-wise, Wonderland is the only fork of Olympus that is kind of decent, right? But anyway, let's go on to the other questions. Why am I concerned about climate out long term? I mean, the team matters, right? So, and I think compared to the actual innovators, right, I would always defer to the first mover advantage team because, I mean, they're the ones that innovated and not the copycats. Aurora is good. We've covered that before. That's the project that made me very bullish on Near, right? Because now all these Ethereum DAOs can be forked over. Immutable X projects are starting to heat up. Yes, so Immutable X projects are projects we like, right? So actually, speaking of that, that could be a play for those of you who like NFTs, right? For those who don't know, Immutable X, they're essentially the Matic and Polygon for Ethereum NFT scaling, right? It's a layer 2 blockchain for gaming. Now, I've not looked too deep into the NFTs on their in their ecosystem, but if you want to get involved in NFTs, Immutable X is a solid project, very solid. I think it's scored at 89 on the code review, which is pretty rare. I mean, that's the same grade Matic Polygon got like back in 2019, 2020. And so back to the question the other person said, right? If I had $1,000, right? So basically I would put that money into Olympus DAO or Wonderland, right? Then use the yield to invest into maybe flip NFTs on Immutable X, right? Because they would have lower fees. I mean, maybe even Solana. And I would leverage tokenmetrics indices and also the TM ratings. I mean, I would literally just come here to tokenmetrics, right? And find projects. I would only be investing in projects that had a daily and weekly TM grade probably over 85. I mean, literally nothing in my portfolio would have a TM grade under 85. Right? And that's what I would do to turn $1,000 into whatever, right? I mean, I think with that strategy, you can easily do a 10x in a bull market and probably even 100x, right? Because you're earning the yield, you're taking that yield, putting that back into projects doing well, right? And then once the grade drops from an 85 to below an 80, take profits, I would get out, right? Then move on to the next one. So basically, there are two approaches to kind of delve deeper into that, right? Let me take this out of the way, right? So the approach would be to flip projects on tokenmetrics that have a TM grade over 85 on the daily and the weekly, right? I would look for that double confluence, right? The double confirmation that on both the daily and the weekly moving average for TM grade, it's strong, very strong, over 85%, right? And I would just keep on flipping. I would basically once a week, I would rebalance my portfolio. And anything that goes under 80, I would sell. I would take profits. Maybe not everything. Maybe I would sell like a third. Definitely my initial and some, right? So probably a third. And then if it goes below 70, I would sell everything. I would get out, Get out and move on to the next one. Nothing in the portfolio would have anything over 70%. I mean, anything under 70% TM grade on the daily and the weekly. Right. Let's see what other questions you have. Crypto changed my life. Says Crypto Mag. Oh, we love that.
We just landed on the moon.
Love to hear that. Change my life as well. And want to keep on changing more lives. That's what it's about. All right, what about parachains? Very good question. What about parachains? Okay, so first thing first, tokenmetrics, right? So I would come here, go to ratings, then I would go to Polkadot ecosystem. All right, then I'll just look at the TM grades, all right, and the trading signal that's bullish. So looking at this, none of these really have parachains. The parachains because Polkadot is not really my ecosystem. I'm not an expert in that, but everybody I know who's really in Polkadot has said that nothing right now seems good for parachains. If anything, most of the money was made in Kusama, right? For example, like Moonriver or Moonbeam, right? Moonbeam and Moonriver on Kusama, the people who I think were in that made a lot of money, right? But I think the amount of tokens available on Polkadot right now does not warrant locking up your Polkadot for that long, right? At least that's what I've been hearing from people in that ecosystem. So there isn't really anything I can really endorse personally. But in terms of just technology, Moonriver, Moonbeam, that is legit. That is as solid as it gets, right? Basically bringing Ethereum applications onto Polkadot, that's going to be big, right? Kind of like Aurora, right? So anything for that I think is good. But in terms of the actual parachains, I'd probably defer to somebody else. But in terms of the Polkadot ecosystem, these are the projects right now in the ecosystem TM grade loves. All right, excuse me. You need a little Avalanche and MetaMask to pay gas fees to stake. Yes, yeah. So for those who are looking into Wonderland, that's why I think it makes sense to have Avalanche. Might as well just also have that if that pumps, right? This is mind-blowing. How's that sustainable? Good question. That's why Olympus DAO is very innovative, right? The model it's basically DeFi 2.0. Right now, I'm no expert in this, but I will try to explain this based on my understanding of this. My understanding of how it works is, with DeFi 1.0, you basically had protocols giving out tokens for yield farming, staking, and rewards. But basically, when you provide liquidity on a DEX, like Uniswap, SushiSwap, the project will give you tokens, the APY, the yield, right, for yield farming. The issue with that is once the yield would run out, people would pull out their liquidity and it would dry up, essentially a rug pull, right? With DeFi 2.0, what Olympus DAO has done is very innovative because the protocol owns the liquidity. It's not really getting mercenaries to come in and take the liquidity and then leave, right? And the way they do it is they're basically issuing bonds, right? So basically, using their treasury, they can sell tokens at a discount, and then they basically are keeping the ETH themselves, or they're owning the liquidity themselves, right? So if I pull this up here, it will actually show you in a way how this works, I believe. Right, so so far this has been sustainable for longer than anybody would have thought possible, because with traditional DeFi, yields for 8,000% would not be sustainable. But right now, they are, right? So this could be that groundbreaking. Literally printing money I mean, I'm probably going to stake some tonight, honestly, right, after all this, right? So basically, this is how it works, right? We have treasury revenue, bonds, and LP fees, right? So bond sales and LP fees increase treasury revenue and lock in liquidity and help control the OM supply. Then they basically are growing their treasury, right? So treasury inflow is used to increase treasury balance and back outstanding OM tokens, and they're basically balancing their APY by, I think it's kind of similar to what Make a DAO does with with DAI and Ethereum. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So basically, the OM token is backed by the treasury, right? So, going to this. Yeah, this is a price pool. And so right now there is 3.3 billion deposited here. Right? I mean, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, but definitely, I mean, what I will do is I will, after this live stream, go through myself and just do a deep dive, because I like to know what I get into. But basically, I will do a deep dive, go through the documentation here, and just kind of make sure I understand how this works in and out. And then I will probably go through and rebalance my portfolio by basically selling all the yield farming tokens I've been earning, because I haven't sold in a while, like since September. Right, so basically I will sell all my yield farming tokens, take profits on them, then use that to buy OM, and maybe even sell some that I just don't believe in anymore. But I'd have to kind of go and do a deep reassessment on that. But basically, I would take profits on my staking, on my yield farming, use that to buy OM, then stake, and just stake and forget, right? And then I'll just monitor the APY. Once it stops, then I'm out, right? But that's basically how I would do it. Alrighty, let's find some other questions to answer. All right. Every crypto is trying to be a Metaverse project now. We will see which ones survive once the music stops playing in a couple of months. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, the ones that I think will be around in the next 5 years are the ones who've scored highly, right, based on fundamentals and code review, right? So, Sandbox, Decentraland, I mean, those two I don't think are going away anytime soon, right? So those are the ones I would keep an eye on. I would say those are the ones that are investable. If you're trading them now in this market, I would leverage the TM grade. If you're thinking long term, I'd wait for a bear market and then buy the dip. Not financial advice, as usual. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was muted on sushi. I did cover them again. Basically, sushi was overvalued, right? I mean, okay, so let me just go through that again, because I think once you get this, you will get basically how to make money in crypto, right? So right now, holding Ethereum, let me switch my screen. Right, holding Ethereum, right? In 1 year, you have made 863%, right? Basically an 8x return on your money, almost 9x return on your money, holding the second largest crypto asset in all of crypto, right? But holding sushi, which is ranked, what's the ranking for sushi? It's ranked 86th in market cap, right? So you're taking on more risk because it has a lower market cap, and in exchange for taking on that risk, you want to be compensated for that risk, right? High risk, high reward, high returns, right? But in this case, that is not happening. You've only made 687%. yes, this beats the stock market, but this is crypto. I mean, basically, you've got a 7x return. So why take on that risk holding a crypto asset with a market cap of 86 to underperform Ethereum? You would have been better off holding Ethereum, right? I mean, that's why, like, if we go to the metrics, right? Performance metrics. If this loads, I'm not sure why this is not loading. Okay, all right, not sure why that's not loading. But basically, Sushi has a lower Sharpe ratio than Ethereum, is what I'm getting to. Meaning that there is no reason to have Sushi in your portfolio, right? Because you're better off holding Ethereum, and Ethereum has less risk than SushiSwap, which is a altcoin, right? That's the way I view Sushi. Now, it's great technology, but the returns are not there right now. And sometimes you have to just kind of go with the flow like that, right? And then looking at the TM grade, it's low, right? So, I mean, I think really the way to go is go through your portfolio, right? So if you go to your portfolio here in Token Metrics, so now you can import your portfolio from exchanges, right? I don't have them here. I think maybe I have like have stable coins here, but you can go through here. I think what, holdings? Yeah, so if you go to holdings, you can go through here and import whatever exchanges you have, and you can track the TM grade, right? So basically, if the TM grade in your portfolio goes under 75%, I mean, I would get out, right? So I should probably listen to my advice and probably go through, add all my other projects, and just those that are not doing well, those that are under 75% or even 70%, I think 75% you start taking profits. If it drops under 70% and under 60, I mean, time to get out. I think that's really the best advice I can give, even if it's not investment advice, right? Right. So that's the way I kind of view crypto right now. Alrighty. So let's find some other. How long do you recommend holding tokens like Armor for 100x potential? Good question, because that's the one that I've been thinking about as well. All right, so I mean, I would just look at the TM grade. I mean, it really is that simple. I mean, that's why we built the product. But I mean, right now it's been getting hit. I know on social media, the team was getting hit, right? It's down 90%. TM grade is 68. Right, so I mean, really, right now is the time to get out. Looking at this chart, right? So, what I've been doing is I've been staking this for a long time, and I've been selling my staking profits, but I haven't sold any in a while. But I do plan to sell some again, and then looking at that, I think it basically makes sense to get out, right? And basically use the staking to almost recoup your additional investment and get out. All right. All right. Did you guys announce Black Friday sales? No, we have not announced them yet, but I mean, I can say this. We do plan to have our annual Black Friday sale. So if you're not a customer, I mean, this is the best sale you'll ever get. So for Black Friday, beginning on Black Friday from, let me get the actual dates for you guys. Give me 1 second. So this will be next week, Friday, November 26th at midnight, all the way until end of day, Cyber Monday, November 29th, which also happens to be our 2-year anniversary. Not 1, but 2 years of Token Metrics. 2 years of Token Metrics family, 2 years hanging out with all you guys. So I want to celebrate with a 40% discount on anybody who buys the annual plan for Token Metrics. Right? Not monthly, but annual plan. But I mean 40% discount. we rarely give this discount. This is typically, we've only done this for Black Fridays, right? So if you're a customer, I mean, Black Friday is the time to become a customer, right? For that plus the other potential airdrop we talked about, right? So I mean, I hope you all take advantage of that. Lance says, are these grades in the basic package from Tokenmetrics? Yes, they are. You just, on the basic plan, you don't get access to the detailed token page. Basic plan basically just gets you the rating page. So basically this page with a TM grade. If you want the details, that's a different plan, right? So if you go to, like, this is my account. If you just go to subscription, these are the plans we have available, right? So basic plan, advanced plan, premium plan, and VIP plan. I mean, so 40% off of this on the annual plans. I mean, definitely take advantage of that. When do we get access to TM hodler plans as we fund our investors in Tokenmetrics? I mean, that's a good question. Crowdfund will be ending this month, so probably next month. All right, let's move on to the next question. What is a good ratio between fully diluted valuation and market cap? I mean, I think a good one is 50%. If more than 50% of the supply is liquid and tradable, I think that's good, all right? But if you have just 10% of the supply that's liquid and tradable and circulating, and the rest is not, then, I mean, there'll be lots of inflation into the market over time, right? So supply and demand, I mean, in theory, the price should go down, right? Meaning that it's overvalued, because that's how projects typically like to pump their price to then get a large FDV. But long term, it's not the best model, in my opinion. But in a way, new products do have to do that. Andrew says, hey, I have 95% of my portfolio in Vive NFTs. I don't know if it's good or not. Definitely not good. I mean, that's too much risk, man. I fear if I sell my NFTs, they'll go up in value and I'll miss out. Any advice? Also, what do you think of Vive NFTs? That's economy, I believe, right? I mean, I would not put 95% of my portfolio into anything except cash, or rather taking profits from crypto, right? Like, even with me, like my portfolio, at one point it was like a quarter in NFTs, and that's when I slowed down because it was way too much, way too many NFTs. I mean, if you're an NFT collector, maybe that's different, but I mean, if NFTs are getting wrecked, I mean, are you comfortable holding? That's the question, right? Or if Ethereum is going up, or if some other projects are going up, I mean, do you feel comfortable holding? I mean, are you an art investor? I mean, maybe I would diversify NFTs across other platforms, like look into Immutable X, look into Ethereum, Solana, and find good projects. I am a Tokenmetrics customer. All right, that is awesome. We appreciate you. How can we use Tokenmetrics to spot gems before the 100x? Oh, great question. Great question. All right, so one, honestly, I would say if you want to spot 100x gems, you got to be in the advanced plan or higher, right? Because with the advanced plan, you get the daily insights newsletter, which basically it's a weekly newsletter. I mean, daily newsletter, 7 days a week typically, and we have our code reviews, fundamental reviews, right? So basically, I shared projects like this, right? A watch list, right? Every week, we put out a watch list of 5 projects we think are the best projects right now based on fundamental analysis. So this is before we even do a deep dive on the code and technology. We give you a weekly watch list on projects to watch out for, right? So this is the one for November 1st. And typically these projects might be having a token sale or they haven't even launched yet, and you can inquire if you're a large investor, maybe getting it into the private sale, right? But basically, we try to find, we every week, we go through 50 projects that haven't launched yet, typically, and we find the best 5, and we cover those, right? So in terms of finding the next 100x, they're typically new coins, right? And we give you a percentage grade on each one. And the ones that score over 80 are the ones we like to keep an eye on, right? So for example, we have Mars Protocol, which is borrowing and lending on Terra, basically Aave on Terra Luna, Wonderland, which we covered on the stream, Mojito XYZ, NFT platform that provides a suite of APIs, blah, blah, blah. No token yet, but keeping an eye on this for when they possibly launch. I mean, they've raised $20 million from Sotheby's International, which is world-renowned art auction house, right? Monkey Ball, which is Solana Bliss Play to Earn esports games. So basically, if there's a project out there that we think could possibly do well, we'll put this in the weekly watch list, right? So to get this, you have to have the advanced plan, at least, to get the daily newsletter, right? So that's the first thing, right? Then the next would be just getting access to all the tokens, right? I mean, the detail page, right? So the ratings, and also the indices as well, right? But most of the 100x's, I mean, there are 2 ways to get 100x in crypto, right? Let me turn the screen, right? The first way is pump and dumps, right? You basically get into a project that has a bunch of hype. You get in via the private sale or via an investment DAO or whatever, and it goes up a lot. But guess what? Like textbook, it comes down crashing, the music stops, there's a correction, and they never go anywhere after that, right? Most of those Polkadot projects did that were raising money on Polkastarter using Ethereum for Polkadot, which hadn't launched yet, right? Where are they now? Nowhere, right? That was the same approach people leveraged in 2017. They're flipping tokens, flipping ICOs. You can flip private sales and do a 100x return. That works in the bull market if you can get in. I mean, but eventually you reach a level where your portfolio gets too big from being successful, where you have to basically become a VC, and you can't really do that anymore, right? And then projects are actively screening out flippers, right? Which makes it tougher to get allocations, right? Then the other way, the way I prefer, is to find solid products with great fundamentals, great technology, and get in early on the ground floor and hold long term. Because if you do that, you'll make more than 100x, right? Earlier in this AMA, I showed how Helium has done over 400x return, right? From its all-time low. And technically, if you're mining it, your price was almost 0, right? So technically, it's like over 1,000x or like infinite, right? And then Matic Network, Polygon, same thing. Over 500x return from the all-time low. But those projects you had to hold for a long time, basically since 2019. So for over 2 years, almost 3 years, you had to hold, right? But if you do that, that's how you get the 100x returns. So I prefer that approach of finding good projects, getting in on the ground floor, and staying in long term, right? Then back to how to find 100x. Then I would also leverage the premium plan, because with the premium plan, you get Token Metrics TV Plus, which has my show, Moon Mission, where I do deep dives kind of like this, but typically not this long, usually for like half hour long. and I share my portfolio, what I'm looking into, what I'm doing, and that's what I typically do. All right. So, but this also gives you the weekly investor webinar, which is a 2-hour long webinar. Right. First 1 hour is basically Bill, Forrest, our team, Mehdi, Jad, myself on occasion going through and just covering the market. And then the last 1 hour is AMA. Ask me anything with our whole team. Excuse me. Answering any questions you have for an hour, just with our customers, right? And for those of you who have not been able to catch us live, we've now also begun putting the recordings, just for those who are on the premium plan, on TMTV, all right? So I'll actually give you guys a walkthrough, right? Since we're here, right? So it's now under webinars, all right? And this is what it looks like. So this is the one from last week. We have one coming up on Wednesday as well, all right? It looks like our customers love this. It has 5 stars. So let's play this real quick. Let me restart this. If this is loading. Okay, so this is basically it. All right, let me put this. I'm trying to put this on 2x. Do we have 2x speed yet? Okay, I guess it hasn't launched yet. But anyway, this is the webinar, all right? This is 2 hours long. We have Bill with his market update. Then we have, okay, Bill's still talking. Bill answering questions. Okay, we have Mehdi doing a deep dive on Polymesh blockchain, right? Like a deep dive via webinar. Then we have Forrest doing TA. I think going through Avalanche. Then we have Jad going through the indices and TM grades. And then the last half hour was mainly Q&A with all our customers. Right? So, I mean, highly recommend it because you basically get access to our team every week for 2 hours. Right? A webinar, which is, I think, lots of people tell us there's a lot of value in that. Then we also launched a VIP recently, which is basically a private Telegram group with our team. But yeah, I mean, so I think if you want to get the 100Xs, I mean, the webinar, the newsletter, and also the code reviews as well, right? Code reviews is also part of the daily insights, right? So then TMTV, so the shows for TMTV, let me actually switch to the other page. Right, so the shows you get with TMTV. Now you can get TMTV as a standalone subscription for those who want just TMTV. We've made that available, but TMTV Plus gives you Crypto Foresights with Forrest, which is the most popular show. We have Deep Dive with Mehdi, Moon Mission with me, all right? And yeah, I mean, so I think that's what I would recommend for anybody who wants to use Tokenmetrics to spot 100Xs. Alrighty, we're getting to top of the hour. We've had a 2-hour live stream. All right, I like that. I like that. Okay, didn't Armor DeFi get listed in the top low cap projects just a while ago? Why do you recommend to exit now? Well, I mean, the TM grade is low, as we've seen here. And then there was some news with, I think, the founding team having some kind of fighting, and the team basically breaking up and kind of disbanding into some other project. So basically, it looks like it's a mess internally. I don't think there's too much confidence, and plus, it's not done well, unfortunately, right? But that's crypto, right? So I think if anything, the way I view it is, I'll sell my staking yield, and hopefully that will cover my initial investment, and then I'll probably look to slowly exit, or maybe just exit altogether. Can you get TMTV in Canada? Yes, TMTV is global, right? So it's basically web browser, and we're also planning to launch mobile apps for TMTV, so Android and iOS. So stay tuned; they'll be coming out soon. So essentially, our own version of Netflix, just for our customers. The crowdfund is closing, so there's no other round. So basically, just go to refunder.com/tokenmetrics for any information on that. All right, I think that is pretty much it. Oh, am I still holding ITGR? Yes, I'm still holding it. I've been providing liquidity to it, but it's honestly it's not done too well right now, right? All right. Then VA says, if you're not a customer, the watch lists are really informative. Yes, they are. I appreciate that. And then he goes on to say, Bill Noble's market updates are great. So are the hidden gems. Yes, they are. All right, so let's do a quick recap, and then we'll wrap this up. So basically, this stream was basically a guide on how to invest in crypto, right? Going forward. Crypto, DeFi, NFTs, DAOs, and Metaverse, right? So last year was DeFi summer. This year was NFT summer. Next year, I think from looking at all the different data in the space and where smart money is going, it looks like it's going to be DAO summer. So now's the time to do research on DAOs. Definitely go out there, do research on them. You have investment DAOs, you have grants DAOs, you have community DAOs, you have social DAOs. But basically, I highly recommend, actually, let me pull this up here. So I recommend going to my moon mission video on DAOs. Give me 1 second. Okay, you guys cannot see this. Let me. Yeah, so this is pretty much my moon mission video, walking through why DAOs are next in crypto. This is 22 minutes long. Right? This is the kind of content you will get on TMTV Plus. Right? But DAOs are the next big thing. It's kind of like getting into NFTs last year, and then they blew up this year. Right? So I think DAOs and Metaverse are what you should be looking out for. And I think also looking for a hedge versus Ethereum, right? I know I joke about being the Ethereum maxi, but I mean, you gotta be looking at what would happen if Ethereum messes up on ETH 2.0, right? And I think layer ones there's a lot less risk with layer ones when it comes to making money. So layer ones we covered, Avalanche, Algorand, Harmony, right? And all these, I would look at the TM grade and see where the TM grade is. If it's over 85 on daily and weekly, it makes sense to trade it. It's a good swing trade if you like it, right? And if it goes under 80, take some profits. That's what I would do. Or rather, I'm sorry, if it goes under 75, I would take profits. If it goes under 70, I would fully get out. Right? I would not stick around to swing trade that. And Metaverse, I mean, the projects I like long term that I feel comfortable talking about and holding long term would be Sandbox, Decentraland, When it comes to NFTs projects, Immutable X, Flow, NFTX. I think those are it for the most part. Now, all these projects, if you're swing trading, basically, if you didn't get in via the private sale or early, you basically have to swing trade it, right? Either that or you buy and hold for forever, for a long time, for like 3 years, right? But you have to make sure your entry is a good entry and leverage the TM grade for that. That's what I would use, right? But I mean, that's the strategy. I mean, we know it works because, I mean, this isn't our first rodeo. I mean, I always love hearing the success stories. As somebody here mentioned how they became a crypto millionaire off of Helium. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? So congrats to anybody who's making money in crypto. I mean, for me, it's been great because I've been able to help buy my parents a very nice dream home, help take care of my family and brother's debt, help me buy a nice car, my dream car, a Rolls Royce, and now I want to get a second car. Excuse me. So I want to get a second car, and I want to get a second car, and I want to buy a home. So I'm thinking of buying a home here in Austin, and maybe even a second home in New York. Well, I mean, basically, if crypto keeps on doing pretty well, I want to get a home here in Austin and ideally a penthouse or a condo in New York. Right? I mean, for the penthouse, I'd have to make a lot of money. Right? So I'll probably have to make 1 or 2 more 100Xs. Right? So that's why we're here. We're here trying to make this money. And then when I was in London town for Token 2049, man, they have Bentleys everywhere. I mean, so I fell in love with Bentley Continentals because when I was going car shopping, looking for the Rolls Royce, I did try out the Bentley, and it looked nice. It looked clean. So I think it'll be nice as car number 2, possibly, right? So, but I want to first make a few more 100Xs. And right now, I mean, crypto, we're still in a bull run. And this bull run, I don't think it's over yet. I mean, I think we can head all the way into Q1 and still be in a bull run. I think this bull run, I mean, because it's very special, right? Because we had NFT season, but the bull run got extended when institutions began pouring in with capital, right? With QE and printing of money, and you had Wall Street flooding into DeFi, right? Wall Street flooding into Ethereum, into DeFi. You have Wall Street now flooding into DAOs, right? Into NFTs. But now you take all of that, you take DeFi, NFTs, and DAOs, and you add Metaverse, blockchain gaming. I mean, so with Facebook putting in 10 billion into Metaverse, I keep saying Facebook, but with Meta now investing or saying they'll invest up to 10 billion into the Metaverse, with Microsoft getting into the Metaverse. I mean, so I think we're going to have, in my opinion, an extended bull run, right? Whatever time frame we thought the bull run would be over, I mean, the fundamentals have changed, which means our time horizon has to change as well, right? So if we have an extra 6 to 12 months to make a lot of money, we should definitely take advantage of this. I mean, why not? That's what it's all about, right? So, I mean, we have that 40% discount coming on Black Friday. So I highly recommend you take advantage of that and become a customer. All right. So with that being said, as we like to say,
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. Thank you, crypto family. I'll see you when I see you.
Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.